Some days you may be feeling a bit in the dumps or extremely tired or something, and the best you've done that day is you've gotten out of bed. Maybe you dressed yourself. Maybe you put away a load of laundry. Maybe you fed yourself. You know, really basic activities. And then other days, you get up and the world is your freaking oyster and you are accomplishing all sorts of shit. You're doing this, you're doing that, you're out getting this, you get a big project done, and you're just like, I'm killing it. And here's the thing, if you did your best, you did your best both those days for the capabilities that you had at that moment. And so our best doesn't always look the same from day to day. Um, like painting a whole room and remodeling a whole room looks different than getting a load of laundry put away. But if you've done your best that day with what you can, the importance is acknowledging the fact that you did your best, that you had these obstacles in front of you, and in spite of those obstacles, you accomplished this shit. Whatever it is, I got out of bed. I fucking fed myself. I took care of the cats. It's really important we don't diminish those things. I know extremely how easy it is to minimize those. Like, they become like white noise for us, like the small basic daily living skill things that we do become just white noise, where it's like when we brush them off like that and act like they're insignificant, like they're things that just have to be, that there's a word I'm trying to think of here, like those are just like baseline things that you already have to get done. Like you don't even bother to acknowledge that you've checked the box. It takes some of your power away from yourself and acknowledging how badass you are. And also, you beat yourself up because you think you're not that great. And you get negative self-talk going because I only got this done. That's another thing. They're saying, I only did this, I only did that. Or looking at the long list of other things that still need to get done. Well, I didn't get to that, I didn't get to that, or I didn't finish that, I didn't get to completely check that box off. I am a major box checking person, trust me. So this is one of the biggest lessons for me to learn that has helped ease stress and anxiety. So when I start noticing myself getting wound up and impatient and feeling restless and upset and wound up's a really good word for it. I feel myself getting really wound up and I can't seem to settle down. I now know that that's a symptom that I am taking for granted all the boxes that have been checked off, because it's become like breathing for me to check some of these boxes off, so I don't even acknowledge the fact that I did them, even though they are important. And so I just want everybody to understand how important it is that as long as you're doing your best every day, it's important to acknowledge that you've done your best. Despite the fact that you woke up with a cold and you were feeling under the weather, or despite the fact that you only got like a couple hours of sleep and now you're up and you're trying to push your way through the day, the fact that you're pushed your way through the day, like, acknowledge that shit. Did you feed yourself? Did you brush your teeth? Did you change your clothes? Did you get something in the house done? Did you love on your dog? Like, these are all very important things. And as long as you're always, and tell yourself, I've done my best. How are you talking to yourself? I got this and this and this and this done. And tomorrow I'm going to see about getting this done. If you're still one of those box checking people and it's really, you got to placate it a little bit, be like, okay, and tomorrow I'd like to see me getting this done. Don't say I'm going to do this or I have to do this. Be like, I'd like to see me do this too, because one thing that'll help set that in your brain, plant a little seed, like you start kind of mentally preparing yourself for it, so that when you get up the next day, it's more likely to happen, or some of it to happen. That's another thing. Sometimes we give ourselves tasks that are too big. I'm classic for this. I'll make a small list, but here, like, box number 1 really has like 6 to 7 sub boxes under it that need to be done to consider that complete. And nah, girl. So it's really important to make sure that it's very simple things that are easy to get done, and that when you do go to work on that one thing, that any of the other things that try to like intrude in on that, be like, no, I made a commitment to doing this one thing. And if it's something that you notice that you don't have on the list, you can just write it down. Write it down and forget it, okay? You can come back to it later because you wrote it down. Get it out of your head, onto the paper, and then out of the way, or on a Google Task form or whatever suits your fancy. But make sure you're letting yourself know that you kicked ass today, you're kicking ass, tomorrow you're gonna kick ass, yesterday you kicked ass. Your levels of ass kickery may look different from day to day, but you are still bomb diggity superhero wonderful woman, and you are killing it. And make sure you're reminding yourself of that. Oh, and your loved ones too. Be sure to be pointing out awesome things that they're doing, because we don't hear that enough from each other. We don't hear it enough from ourselves, and it's a great practice to help introduce other people to, just by being like, hey, I saw that you did this. You know, that's a lot of times why we rag on our kids or our significant others because they didn't help out with a chore or something. When you see that they did do something, be like, holy crap, thank you so much. That helps me so much. Or I love that you did that, or blah, 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 whatever. Like, let's love on all the good shit going on, all right? And have a great day.